Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to be starting a YouTube channel with a lot of this stuff and information on it, but I wanted to let you be the first ones to see some of the ways that I make the dog food. And I do this to help Boomer, my old guy, with his cancer because it's pushed his intestines all the way over to the left, and he has some kind of nodule in his throat that is hard for him when he's chewing kibble. He actually chokes. And I also do it for my younger one, Fresca, because she has pancreatitis and she has to be careful what she eats. She also has a lot of food allergies, so she doesn't do well with the kibble as well. So I have a very basic recipe that I draw off of, and I'll show you what I've already done so far. If I can turn this around. I can't, so I'm just gonna do it this way. So basically what I do is I have already cooked up the ground turkey. I take two 48-ounce packs of ground turkey and I cook it up. I put in it some salt, and I use the pink Himalayan salt because it has a lot of great minerals for them. And then I also use Italian seasoning, and let me see if I can find it. I either get the, this is the Great Value version, and yes, I do organic, because if you use organic, it deletes all of those pesticides that they use on regular herbs, and that only adds to their health problems. So things like that I put in it definitely need to be pesticide free. And if you can't afford it, that's fine. Then you use the regular ones. Just give them a little wash or rinse if you can in a very, very fine strainer. Okay, and the other thing that I put in it is I like to put in some ground turmeric, because turmeric is known to help with inflammation in the body. And you always want to make sure you help with that, because they need that, especially when you have your ill dogs and your older dogs with joint issues and pain and stuff like that. So I just sprinkle it liberally in there. And then another thing I like to put in there is a little bit of cilantro. Italian seasoning, believe it or not, does not have cilantro, and for many years I thought it did. So I use the cilantro. Now this one I did not find in organic, and that's okay for this time, so I'm just using the regular one. And I just sprinkle that liberally as well. Now the other green that you see in there is spinach. So for two 48-ounce packs of the ground turkey, I do use the Greenwise organic spinach, and I get the frozen because it's cheaper and lasts longer if you get some packs, and that one right there. And you can buy more at a time and store it because they have BOGO sales on it. So that's when I take advantage of that, and I'll get like a good stack of them. And you just kind of mix it in. So I use 1 pack of spinach in there, okay? Another thing I like to do, oh, I think that just went over the side. No, it didn't, yay. I love this big pot that I got at TJ Maxx because it cooks it in there really good. I don't make it too fine, but I do make it just enough to where if I have to put any kind of meds in there, it's hidden in there. Because if you look at the Fresh Pet, which I use for my backup because it is the closest thing to what I make, I'll show you. The Fresh Pet actually has spinach and carrots, and they use oats, which I use as well at times in their mixture, and that helps with their coat and their skin, especially if they have allergy issues. So I use a 1.5 cups of oats in with this mixture. If I notice Fresca starting to put on some weight due to some lack of activity, because of my fault, I get too busy at times, then what I will do is I will not give the oats in her mixture. It's okay for them to go keto. Dogs kill animals out in the wild, and while they might get some of the grains from eating these animals that the animals have eaten, it's really not a whole lot of grains. But here is the Fresh Pet that I use, and it is great, and it's made in the USA. All their ingredients are from the USA, not China or any other place. Okay, so here is, just so you can kind of see, let me see if I can make sure I get that in there. That's the ingredient list for them, okay? So according to activity is how I measure out with that one, because they do have the extra carbs in there, and I don't put as many oats in here as they probably put in theirs, because the oats are actually the second ingredient, which means it's a pretty good amount. So I give them, when I feed them that, Boomer's about 69 pounds and Fresca is about between 58 and 60. And so I give them a good cup and a half each time I give it to them. Okay, so I've mixed in all of this stuff. Well, here's another question that I get often. What if they have stomach issues? Mine always seems to have upset stomach. What really helps for my babies, especially Fresca with her pancreatitis, is I get fennel seed. Fennel seed is not something that really takes in the pesticides like a lot of the others, because it has that like hard part on the outside. So they're able to wash it off when they put it through. And once you get to the cooking, by the way, you can go ahead, like done cooking the meat, you can keep it on very low or even turn it off on the burner when you're mixing in the spinach, because you don't want the spinach to overcook. And yeah, I'm gonna use my teeth. Sorry if my mom sees this, although I didn't have to have braces. But so I just sprinkle the fennel seed very lightly over the top. It would help if I put the light on. And you can see I have it on a light simmer right now when I put the fennel seed in. I like for it to kind of, and I usually put it in earlier, like when I'm cooking the meat, just so it can and get in the juices really good, but I forgot this time. So roll with me. Okay, I hope I'm showing this good. Basically that's it. I also add in some steamed carrots. And if I don't have those on hand, I will get the canned carrots. But before I put the canned carrots in, because they're usually sliced in big slices, and Fresca's not very big on her veggies, so I just chop them up with a knife real good before I put them in. I don't mash them, but I chop them up really fine with like a butter knife, crisscrossing patterns in the can after I drain it. And then I just put them in. And when I do that, when I use a can, I do a full can to a can and a half on this. So depending on how much fiber you feel your dog needs in their diet, if you're just making this food, I would start with maybe 3/4 of a can of carrots, because those can really help move their bowels until they get adjusted, and you don't want that when you're first starting with carrots. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful. The last thing that I put on it, which both of my aunts have been amazing at introducing me to, and I have been able to get my dog off of all of his medicine, which he was on 6 different medications, down to just 1 tramadol, which I only give him if we take nice long walks. This has helped him with get a pep back in his step. He's 13. He was laying around all day. It was sad. And then once I got him on pain meds, he wasn't in the pain anymore per se, but then he was laying around sleeping all day, doing nothing because he was drugged up. And we don't want that for our pets. We want them to have a quality of life, but we also want them to enjoy the quality of life too. And now he's able to do both. So if we go on a walk, I do give him 1 tramadol. Sometimes if we go on a really long walk and he's looking a little bit more lame or he's groaning, I just kind of tune into him. I might give him half a gabapentin, which helps with the nerve issues too that they have. So just kind of play it by ear, listen to your pup, and enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Bye.